morning, this is Debbie Hibbard, and welcome to Browse, Check Out, Download at Kentucky Libraries Unbound. Please let me know if you can hear okay. We didn't get a chance to do our sound check this morning. Looks like a few people are in now, so if you can hear okay, just chat in that box in the right-hand bottom corner of your screen. Can everybody hear me? Okay, great, Kim. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to assume then that everything is okay with the microphone, and we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch the screen over now to the main presentation. Hope you guys are staying warm out there. I appreciate you coming in and joining us this morning to learn a little more about Kentucky Libraries Unbound. My name is Debbie Hibbard, and I'm a reference librarian here at the State Library, and I'll be presenting this morning's webinar. I'd also like to introduce Alicia McGrath, and Alicia is our continuing education supervisor, and she's manning our chat room this morning. So if you have any technical or sound issues, you can just chat those into Alicia, and she'll get on top of it. Also, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, I will do my best to answer them. And Alicia, if I don't catch any, she'll let me know, and she'll also be working on answering those questions too. So please feel free to ask any questions you have throughout the presentation. And just to let you know, this webinar is being recorded, and it will be available on our archived training sessions page should you want to listen to it later. And we will have a PDF of the presentation available for download at the end of the session. Regarding the recording, I just want to let you know that your names will be hidden, so you don't have to worry about being identified in the recording on our webpage. Okay. So let's talk about what we'll be covering in class this morning. The first thing that we're going to talk about, and I went backwards. There we go. What is Kentucky Libraries Unbound? You know, what is it made up of? What kind of materials do they have? And so on. Then I'm going to talk a little more about the apps and software that you need for your device in order to be able to download material to it. The third thing, where to go for help. That's always a good thing to know. Fourth, we're going to be talking about the nuts and bolts of getting into your account, changing your settings for checkout periods, placing holds, borrowing and returning items, and so forth. And finally, I'm going to be discussing the options you have for finding that perfect ebook, audiobook, or video. Okay, I want to just bring up a poll here really quick. I'm just curious about the level of experience that everyone has in downloading digital material. So if you could just answer, how would you describe your level of experience? And this is not with Kentucky Libraries Unbound, it's just with downloading ebooks or audiobooks. Are you a beginner? You just got a new device over Christmas and you've not downloaded anything yet? Looks like we've got some intermediate, and then expert. If you maybe you purchased material but you just haven't used Kentucky Libraries Unbound before. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and you can see the so we've got two intermediate. Good. All right, thank you. Well, this next section here may be, some of it's going to be very beginning material for you, but I'll try to go through that quickly. But first, let's talk about Kentucky Libraries Unbound. What is it? Kentucky Libraries Unbound is a group of Kentucky libraries. They're primarily public libraries. As a matter of fact, KDLA is the only special library in the group. And these libraries have pulled their resources in order to offer electronic downloadable material to patrons. So the way that this works is basically pooling resources means money. What it does is it just makes the service more affordable for libraries, and it helps Kentucky libraries across the state provide a larger variety of materials to patrons. So by pooling all of our money together, we're able to provide this service. Now, Kentucky Libraries Unbound offers material through a company called Overdrive, and you see Overdrive in their direct web address, which is in red there at the top of the screen. Overdrive is a distributor of electronic material. So they're a vendor that we use, and they provide digital rights management for publishers and download fulfillment for libraries and other schools and people who want to basically access the digital material. So they're like a middleman. Now, most of you are probably going to be using Kentucky Libraries Unbound for your books that you just read for pleasure, or audiobooks that you listen to just for fun. And there is absolutely no restriction on your state library account for you to do that. You don't have to use it just for work-related material. But we do have, I just want to mention, we do have a number of nonfiction items on work-related topics like management, customer service, things that you might use for professional development and that you might want to read while you're at work because it's part of increasing your skills. So that material, if you decide to download that on your computer at work, which I have done before, I got a book on providing reference services one time, and I did download that to my work computer. But we just want to remind you to be sure and make sure that you are compliant with your agency's policies. Different agencies have different policies on whether you can download material to state government equipment or not. So just be sure that you check with your supervisor, check with your IT person, and that that is kosher with them. Okay. Finally, your KLU account can be customized to your needs. There's a lot of ways that you can set it for your preferences, and we'll talk a little more about that later. Okay, now here's some of the very basic information that I'm just going to go over quickly since you have some experience with downloading. So the first thing, of course, that you need to download is a connection to the internet. And you get that with many devices through either 4G, 3G, or Wi-Fi, and most of them are Wi-Fi capable now. I don't even know. Amazon used to put out, I believe, e-reader that was 4G, 3G capable, but most devices are Wi-Fi now. And you're going to need to be able to set that up in order to get your downloaded material. When I first got my Kindle Fire tablet, this was several years ago, I just thought it would be hard to set up Wi-Fi in my home. I was going to go to like the local library or Panera or someplace to do my downloading, any place they had free Wi-Fi. But it was really easy. I went to Walmart, I got my router, they're not very expensive, and I hooked up my router to my modem, and within minutes I had Wi-Fi in my home, so it was really easy. Of course, the router works by emitting frequencies that allow you to connect to the internet, and that is like a radio wave that will send that signal throughout your home, and then you can download. Once it's downloaded to your device, your library, and if you're getting something from the library, for example, if you purchase it, it's going to stay on your device. But if you check out something from Kentucky Libraries Unbound, that item is going to stay on your device until your loan expires or you delete it from the device. Okay. Of course, 4G, 3G is cellular technology, and that's the technology that you use with your cell phone. It can be used anywhere. So if you're on a trip, you would be able to download your library book in the car if you're using the 4G, 3G on your phone, for example, and you're downloading a book to your phone. And then any device that doesn't have Wi-Fi or 4G, 3G capability is going to need to be hooked up via a USB cable for download, and that you just hook that up to a port on your computer or laptop, and then your device, and it'll download that way. I don't know that many devices use those, but if they do, they usually are included in the purchase of your device. Okay. So when you are downloading something from Kentucky Libraries Unbound, it's really, really easy. Before you do anything, of course, you're going to have to get that app or software in order to download. And they're free. You can go to the orange web address there, overdrive.com, and they have an exhaustive list of all devices, platforms. So if you're not sure about what you're going to need, you can go there. Generally, you just go to your Play Store if you've got a Google device. If you have an Apple device, you go to the App Store and get your app that way. And we'll talk about which apps here in a little bit. I'll show you that list that they have of all the different devices. Okay. Once you have your app or software installed, you just sign into your KLU account with your KDLA library account number and password. And then you can search and browse for titles that you'd like to download. Now, if you have a new library account number, which if you have not ever taken this or any of our webinars before and you just got a library account number in order to take the webinar, you're going to have a new one. You are going to have to set a password. And the way that you do that is you go to our homepage, which is kdla.ky.gov. It's that address there in red at the bottom. And you hover over our state employees drop-down menu. And right there, you see KDLA WorldCat Discovery. Just click on that. It's the very last option. And that's going to take you to our main catalog page. You're just going to click the Sign In button. And that's going to take you to our Sign In page. You're going to see this Sign In page anytime that you sign into Kentucky Libraries Unbound, or our research databases, or our catalog. So this is our sign-in page, and right here, that little tiny, very small letters, set reset password link is what you're going to click on. Okay, and once you click on set reset, you're going to end up here. You're just going to put in your KDLA account number and request new password. And basically at that point you're going to get an email at your work email address or whatever email address we have on file for you. And that is going to have instructions for resetting or setting your password. Now, word of warning, those instructions will take you to a page that asks you for a username. Username is just your KDLA library account number. So you don't have to make up a username. You just put in your account number when it asks you for one. And also sometimes we get people who will call and they've forgotten what their password is. We do not keep the passwords here. That's for your privacy and confidentiality. So you would just need to go in and hit that link and reset the password. Just request a new password if you should forget yours, which I do sometimes have forgotten mine. Okay. So, getting help. So if you're first setting up your device, you're going to go to the Overdrive page. To get to that from the KLU homepage, and this is KLU's homepage, KentuckyUnbound.overdrive.com. It's down there in red at the bottom. You just go to Help, and that takes you to Overdrive's Help page. And just a few things I want to point out on their help page here before. First of all, they do have that list of devices. Should you have any question at all, what app or software that you need. So you just click on devices. You see over here to the left-hand side all the devices and platforms that are available. I kind of think of them as the 3 A's. Basically, you have an Amazon product, you have an Apple product, or you have Android. And Android is used for anything really that's not Apple or Amazon, truthfully. Now, I think there might be Chromebook has something different in Kobo. But I have a Motorola smartphone, for example, and it uses Android. Android is Google's operating system. Okay, so just for an example, I'm going to click on Android, and it's going to take me to this sample profile page. So this shows for anything that uses Android, all the apps, compatible formats, and if you were to scroll on down there, they give examples of different devices too. But if you have an Android operating system on your device, you see there it says Overdrive for Android. That is the app that you would use. Okay. And there's those examples that I mentioned as you scroll on down that page. So Google Pixel, Samsung Galaxy, Galaxy tablets, the Nook tablet, LG devices, and so forth. These all use Android. And there's my Motorola smartphone, so I would just click on that. Okay. So again, let's say I'm just going to kind of take you through getting that app. I have an Android device, and I want to download the appropriate software for my smartphone, let's say. So to begin doing that, I click on this Get Started link. Because when you click on that, that's where it's going to take you. For example, that Overdrive link that I just showed you, you're going to go to Get Started. You click on that orange link, and it's going to take you to icons for the different stores. So if you have anything that uses Android, it's Google Play. Anything, if you have an iPad, an iPhone, you're going to use the App Store. If you have an Amazon Kindle or Fire tablet, then you're going to use, of course, the Amazon icon. And there's the Nook app as well. So you just click on one of those icons, and it'll take you directly to the page that you need. So you see here, we are in Google Play, and we're going to get this Overdrive app. You just click on Install, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to mention on their new site, Overdrive has a brand new app called Libby. You might want to download Libby, unless you have an Apple product. The thing about Libby is it's the main difference between Libby and the Overdrive app. The old Overdrive app, which still works, and I would highly recommend getting the old Overdrive app over Libby, quite frankly. Libby does not allow you to stream video if you have any interest in doing that, and you can download video material from Kentucky Libraries Unbound. Libby does have somewhat of a simplified interface. I don't think it has as much functionality as the old Overdrive app. For example, the old app allows you to keep a wish list. Also, we are having some issues here at the State Library with people who have Apple devices. Apple has some new security rules that they instituted, and it doesn't play well with our system here. So we are working on that. We have our people talking with the Apple people. Nothing has been, as far as I know, as last I heard, nothing has been worked out yet. Hopefully that will be worked out soon, but people who have tried to use Libby on their iPhone, for example, are not able to open it up with their KDLA library account. You can open it up with your public library account. I don't think this is an issue with some of the public libraries because they use a different system than we do. But the OCLC system that we use and the easy proxy that we have that authenticates you when it tries to open does not work. So just a word of warning there. But I have Libby. I have Libby on my smartphone, and I do use it, and it is easy to use. I think it's particularly if all you are interested in is ebooks, maybe that's the app that you might want. But not if you have an Apple device. Okay. All right, moving along. They also have these step-by-step videos on Overdrive. That's just another thing that I want to point out real quick. So if you're a visual person like I am and you like to see them walk you through a step on how to place a hold or how to check out your book, then they have these little small videos. They're real short, and they take you through that. And you can choose the list of devices and platforms on the left-hand side there that you're interested in. Okay. Let's go on into Kentucky Libraries Unbound then. They did get a new website. I don't know, it's been a few months, I think, that they've had it at least. Maybe going back to this fall even. But anyhow, to access Kentucky Libraries Unbound from our website, again, go to kdla.ky.gov, state employees, downloading audiobooks and ebooks link. Of course, you can just go to it directly, or when you have your app, you'll just open it up. But if you do want to get a little more information about downloading audiobooks and ebooks, we do have a page on that. This has instructions for you written out if you like written instructions. And we have our link to Kentucky Libraries Unbound right there. So you'll just click on that and it'll take you to their homepage. I do recommend signing in first, and you can do that here. So when you're signed in, you're going to get search results not only for the shared content of Kentucky Libraries Unbound, but anything that's specific to our library. There are just some small differences in material from library to library. Mostly that's in the number of copies that are available for certain titles. Some libraries might get more copies of a popular title, for example, than another library. So they're just small differences. But I would definitely recommend signing in. That way you're ready to go when you're ready to check out. Okay, so to sign in, you just click that sign in. It's going to bring up this page, and you choose KDLA. And then hit sign in. Over there on the right-hand side, you notice it says you can sign in with Overdrive or you can sign in with Facebook. So you do have those options too. And that, again, is going to take you to our sign-in page where you put your library account number and password in. Okay, and then you're good to go. So when you want to browse, if you're not really sure what you're interested in reading and you just want to look at different collections that they have, you can click Collections right here at the top. And notice that they have special ebooks, audiobooks, and videos, and choices under each of those formats. So say you just wanted to browse for items for your child or your teen, or maybe you want to see titles that are the most popular. You know, they have those links there under collections. And if you scroll on down that page, you'll see their featured collections. They do curate titles together under a certain theme. Some of the past collections they've had include animal tales, if you're an animal lover. They've had a collection of Kentucky authors, award-winning young adult items. Currently you see there We have resolution, revolution for the new year with lots of diet stuff and how to change your life. And they also have National Hobby Month, which apparently January is National Hobby Month, so that's kind of neat. So a lot of quilting books there, it looks like. So definitely check out those featured collections. They're kind of neat. Okay, now if you know exactly what you're looking for, you can just do a direct search here. So you just click on that search button. This box allows you to search by keyword, title, subject, or author. And one thing I'd like to point out, you'll notice at the top of the item cover, it says available in blue. Otherwise, it says wait list. Of course, available means you can check it out right now, and wait list means there's other people that are in line for it. So you would have to put a hold on it. Also here you'll notice there's a line that shows you whether the item is a book, an audiobook, or a video. So be sure that you notice that, that you look for that. If you're just wanting an ebook and you don't want to check out an audiobook accidentally, there's that information. It's not very noticeable. They had actually used to have it on the cover with an icon. I thought that was a little more noticeable. Okay, and up here I just want to point this out. You can change the way this page is arranged, the page format. So this is page format and this is the list format. So you notice it changes over there. The thing about the list format, with page format you get more of the items, more options. With the list format you don't see as many on the page, but it gives you a little more information that you can see right up front. So it's a little more noticeable there that that's an audiobook and that there's one copy available. And it also had down here, you'll notice the, grab my little arrow again, the description, which you couldn't see on the other page. So that's just, it's your preference, whichever you prefer. Okay. And let's look at the filtering options on our left-hand side here. So if you just want to see audiobooks, you're not interested in ebooks, you can just click on audiobooks and that'll show you all the audiobook titles. You can also click just ebooks or videos. When you click on it, it expands the section. So you see here we've got this expanded section that shows you the different formats and how many are available in each. So if you have a Kindle book, you have 138 options there under ebooks for that particular subject, which I think I have put in diet or something under the search. Yeah, notice it says diet here. Okay. And there's an advanced search option too. You just click here on the search button and you see advanced there under the search field. When you click on advanced, it's going to bring you to this page. This is strictly a title and author, not a keyword search. So if you were to put the word diet in title, for example, it's going to bring up every item that has the word diet in the title, but unless that word is in the title, you won't get any results. So just to let you know. You can also filter by author or subject, format, language, whether something is available, the coming soon title, so you can get a jump on placing a hold on it, as well as audience level and date added. So the date added would be if you just wanted to see some of the newer titles that they've added recently, you can click on that or enter that. Okay. And in order to see more information about a selection, you're just going to click on these three little dots, that little menu icon there with the three dots. And if you click on View Details, that's going to take you to a full description of that book, or you can click on the cover, which it's probably just easier to click on the cover. But they always give you options. Okay, and you can also listen to a sample here, so that's also under that little menu with the 3 dots. I give you the option of listening to a sample, viewing details, and you may also like, which is right here. And when you click on you may also like, it brings up a page of other titles that are related. So they're similar subject. Sometimes you get unusual selections, like those first 2 don't really seem to have anything to do with dieting. But at any rate. Now just a couple of other items before we move on to checking out. Kentucky Libraries Unbound allows you to develop a wish list. So that's always handy. You can, anything that you come across that I don't want to read it now, but maybe later. You can place up to 5,000 titles on your wish list. So you just click on the little bookmark here. And you see once you click it, it turns orange. And that lets you know that the item is added to your list. To see items on your list, just click here. That is under My Account. So when you click on that My Account, it drops down to this menu, and you have loans, holds, wish list, settings, and rated titles. Thank you. I cannot read. Tiny. It's very tiny to me, and I'm not able to read that. Thank you, Alicia. Okay. So to see your list of items, you're just going to click on wish list. Now items do stay on your list. They're not deleted when you sign out and sign back in. And under wish list, where it says rated titles, you can find any items that you've rated. So you can give items a rating of up to 5 stars. That helps you keep track of titles you might want to read again, or maybe recommend to friends, or maybe you think, hey, that author was great. I'd like to go back and find some more by that author. Okay, and now let's look at settings. So KDLA lets you choose from 3 options here. And that's for your lending period. I like to have a lot of time to read because I usually got several books going at one time. So I've got mine set for 21 days on my ebooks. It will default to 14 days. So if you don't go in and when you first get into this and choose your settings, it is going to default to 14 days. Also notice that you can choose to have hold items automatically check out when they become available. So that's right here. Automatic hold checkout. And you'll get a notification that the item is on your bookshelf and ready to be downloaded if you have that set. In addition, you can adjust for maturity levels. Okay, so you see juvenile, young adult, general, mature adult. They don't give you specific ages for these settings. Just to give you an idea, they do define mature adult as being for people over 18, and their example is erotic literature, so giving you some idea there. And if you scroll further down the page, you'll see 2 display options for high contrast and dyslexic font. And high contrast allows you to change the contrast level to display for KLU's website. It helps people with vision disabilities. It heightens the color contrast of the text, window borders, and images on the screen, and helps make them more visible and easier to read and identify. So that's a nice feature they have. Also, another setting is for people who have dyslexia. If you have anyone in your family with dyslexia, they do have an option for dyslexic font. And you can adjust this setting. The font option is supposed to make text easier to read for dyslexic users. And you cannot use high contrast and dyslexic font at the same time. Okay, so let's say we're ready to check out now. Show you how that works. You can check out up to 12 items at a time with your KDLA account. So you can have 12 books, or it can be 10 books and 2 audiobooks. It doesn't matter what kind of item. You can click on borrow when you're ready to borrow. You can also click on the cover. And if you've clicked on the cover, there's going to be a blue borrow button on that page, on the item record page, where you can check out. Once you have it checked out, you're going to see this title at the top of the page. Success! This title is now checked out to you. Notice in the statement that it tells you the due date and it directs you to the loans page. You can click on that hyperlinked loans right here to go to that page and where you can download the item. And you'll notice it also changes to borrowed, so it shows that you have borrowed it. So on your loans page, notice again My Account drop-down menu that shows on every page of the website, and it shows you that you are on the loans page. You'll see here that it tells you the number of titles you can still check out. And below the title, there's an option for returning the item if you change your mind. And then to the left, we have the same menu that we have over there under My Account. So that shows up on every page. Just repeats the options. Okay. So looking at holds real quick. Again, when an item is checked out, it's going to have wait list at the top. And on some of the most popular items, you are going to find, just like it with a physical book at your local library, you're going to find several people ahead of you in line. Below, instead of borrow, it says place a hold. And so you just click on that. And again, you're going to have another statement that pops up that says that an email will be sent to your email address when it's available. And now, one thing about the email address, you have 48 hours to check out the item once you've received the email. So pay attention to the timestamp on the email. Make sure that you have an email in the system that will allow you to check out on weekends. There will also be recommendations. Let's see where that is. Oh, and you can click on this Manage Your Holds hyperlink. That's going to take you to your holds page. And here is where it says, want to borrow something? You might also like these titles. So it gives some similar titles that are currently available that you don't have to wait for. Okay, so let's look at the holds page for a minute. You see at the top the statement that confirms you have automatic holds checked out and turned on. You're on the holds page, and here it tells you how many more holds you have that you can place. And then it tells you where you are in line. So on this particular book, I'm the first person in line for the next available of 2 copies. And at the bottom of the title, you have several options here. You can either edit your email address, so you can change the email address where it'll send your notifications. You can suspend a hold, or you can remove it if you change your mind. Okay, and a little word about suspending holds. When you suspend a hold, you will keep moving forward on the mailing list, but the item will not become available while it's suspended. You see there are several options for the number of days. Sometimes people do this when they're going to be away and they won't have access to their email or Wi-Fi. So if you're going on vacation and you're going to be in a place where you wouldn't be accessing your email or Wi-Fi, you might want to suspend your hold until you return. Okay, let's move on to downloading. So this is where you actually get your item. You've already checked it out. It's on your bookshelf, and you're ready to download. So when you check out the item, it shows up on your bookshelf here. And you see I've got 2 items that are on my loans page right now. At the top of the title, it's going to tell you how many days you have left until your checkout expires. So in the cases that haunt us, I had auto check on and I got my notification, but I didn't go right away to download it and I forgot about it. And so it's been sitting here all this time and it says, that it's going to expire soon. Okay, and here you see your options for downloading. So I have, let's say I have a Kindle ebook, an e-reader, then I'm going to want to choose Kindle Book. So this allows you to select your format. Not every item that they have is available in Kindle Book. So that's another thing that you have to look at is this going to be available, is this title available in the format that I need for my particular device? Okay. When you click on download and you've selected your format, again, Kindle is going to work with any Amazon Kindle product. EPUB, that EPUB option they have there is pretty much for any other mobile product such as the iPhone, iPad, my Samsung Galaxy phone, PDF ebook for Windows or a Mac computer, because they do have a PDF ebook option, and that's for your desktop or your laptop. Okay. They also have one called Read in Your Browser. And when you choose this, there's not going to be any downloading. It's just going to open right up on your mobile device or computer in the device's internet browser. And Overdrive states that your bookmarks and reading progress are stored in the cloud so you can pick up wherever you leave off. I have found that to be the case when I use the same device. I haven't tried it between devices, but they say even between different devices that you can do that. So it'll save your reading progress. And then here at the bottom of the title, you see the options for either placing another hold on it if you're going to need a little more time, or you can return it early. Okay, and I just want to show you something a little bit different with Kindle, because for ebook, it's going to just go ahead and download immediately, but for Kindle, they do something a little bit different. When you click on Kindle, it takes you to Amazon's web page, and sometimes people see this and they're like, oh no, they want me to purchase it. I'm not trying to purchase it. Notice it does say get your library book. So they aren't trying to get you to purchase it. This is just the way that Amazon has set it up for their products for you to get library books. The reason they do this is because they want to track what you're reading so that they can market to you, I think. But at any rate. So you're going to be diverted to their website. You just click on Get Library Book. You notice it asks you which device that you wanted, if you have more than one Amazon device, which one you want it delivered to. You just specify that. And then in the middle of the page here, it has the expiration date. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? We're pretty much at the end here. Have a little bit of time for questions if anybody has any questions. Okay. Again, Overdrive has a really good help page, I think. It's very easy to use. They have a lot of information on it. They have troubleshooting information. So I highly recommend you go check that out if you have any issues at all. Of course, you can always call us too. I just want to thank you again for being here this morning with us. Again, if you have any questions, you can always contact us through our Ask a Librarian. I've got that direct link there to our Ask a Librarian form, which you can ask any questions. And we also have that 502 phone number, or if you're outside Frankfurt, the 1-800. We answer our phones from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Okay, and just a few other things to wrap up here. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that this webinar was made possible in part through funding by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. And also, there is the box at the bottom left-hand side of your screen for downloading the presentation. So if you just click on that Browse, Checkout, Download Slides, it's going to light up that download file button and you can just download it to your computer. And finally, we do have a short 5-question survey here. So that survey link is at the bottom in the middle. If you click on that and that Browse to light is going to, a button is going to light up and you can just go to that survey. We very much like to have your feedback. So if you can just take a minute of your time before you leave today to fill that out, we really appreciate it. If you're listening to this as a recording, you would also be able to fill out the survey as well. We do not give out training certificates for listening to recordings because we don't have a way of tracking that. However, if you are here today with the live training, of course you are going to be getting a training certificate for attending, and that certificate should come to you within about a week. And it will also have a link to the survey as well in it. So again, I just want to thank you for your time. Hope that everybody stays warm. Looking very much forward to that warm up this weekend. We are going to hang around for a few minutes if you have any additional questions. And if you're ready to leave, you can just click on the red X in the top right-hand side of your screen. Hope everybody has a great day and a wonderful weekend.